My name is Jonathan Thorpe. I'm a commercial and portrait photographer here in Washington, D.C. My style of shooting tends to land a little bit more in the cinematic style, meaning I try to make my photos look more like a movie still than they do your typical kind of posed portrait. More often than not, when I have a shoot happening, the models on set aren't even going to be models. They're going to typically be actors. I'm going to ask them to act and emote and be a part of the whole process, as opposed to just standing there and posing. So something I really enjoy doing with my photography is making these little movie scenes and trying to create some type of emotion in the photo. So the EOS R is my go-to camera. As far as lenses go, I tend to shoot more in the mid to wide angle range of things. So the 35-1.4 is one of my biggest go-to lenses. It's just wide enough that shows enough of the background to where you don't lose your subject in it. It's wide enough so your subject does distort a little bit, but it's enough that they're just a little bit larger in the scene. And that way you don't just lose them in that environment. But it also shows a lot of the environment that's behind the person. Just a fantastic lens. If I'm not shooting on the 35, I will typically shoot on the 45-1.8. Honestly, the 45 is such a cool lens. That little bit of extra wideness really can help tell that narrative in a way that's compelling. And if I am shooting a traditional portrait, which it happens, but not super too often, I'll do the 85-1.8. Such a beautiful lens. The focus, the bokeh that you get out of this thing is beautiful. It's that, that standard portrait lens that we all need in our bag. We all need like a 45 or 50 and an 85. Those two lenses you can do, I don't know, probably 80% of the work that we do as photographers. So those three are my usually go-tos. I'll be honest, I am not gentle with my equipment. It is, in my eyes, it is equipment. It is to be used as intended. And I kind of beat my stuff up. And over the last 7 or 8 years with my Tamron stuff, I've had to send a lens in once for repair. And it still worked fine. It was just the rubbers were slipping off the lens. Like, it wasn't a broken lens necessarily. It just had to have some rubbers replaced. The stuff just handles it. It just takes a beating. Even when you hold one of the lenses, you feel like it's it doesn't feel like super robust, but it is that way. Another thing about these lenses that I find that is more or less, I think, the biggest selling point is the VC that are on these lenses. With the VC, I've been able to handhold images down to, I think 1/15 of a second and not see any blur. The warranty on these lenses is fantastic. Their turnaround time for repair is also super quick. So for me, even if I wasn't an image master, I would still be using the Tamron glass. I really do believe in the glass. I think the product is great. The vibration control in the lenses is fantastic. My favorite shoots are, I do these big Halloween shoots once a year. And it's my time to be able to dictate exactly what I want to do. And Halloween's my favorite time of year. I love scary movies and everything that comes with it. So it's fun to be able to create something that is so in line with my interests as a person, outside of just photography. A lot of the work that I show has very little, if not no, Photoshop. There's an image that was referenced, about the spaceship, abducting someone. That is clearly a Photoshopped image. We shot that in my backyard, had the person jump, put a light over their head, and then I knew going into it how I was going to composite that. But for the majority of it, this is a couple weeks of planning. This is studying different things for inspiration to really make sure the set is just perfect. We did a shoot recently. It was a Mad Hatter theme. And everything you see in that photo is completely 100% real. And the Photoshop that it took just to get it to where it is now was about 2 to 3 minutes. Just a little bit of contrast, bump up from the raw, and that's it. Don't be afraid of them. You can produce just as good work with the Tamron stuff as you could with the high-end OEM lenses, I'll say it that way, instead of picking out just one brand. Third-party lenses in the past haven't been great. Years and years ago, they just weren't. They weren't there yet. Tamron lenses have come so far in development and so far in quality that I don't think anyone out there could tell the difference anymore. It's that good. Yeah, so to find out some more about me, my website is jthorpephoto.com. My Instagram is also jthorpephoto, and Twitter is jthorpephoto. I'm highly engaged on there. If anyone ever has questions, please shoot me a DM. I always happily respond, and that's really my preferred means of social interaction, I guess. Thank you so much for doing this. I love being able to talk about photography and talk about brands that I believe in and talk to other creatives about stuff. So this is a ton of fun for me. And as always, thank you to Tamron for believing and supporting me and making just the best stuff out there right now.